Hi guys, welcome to today's video. Today's video is all about solving equations. So it's just the basics to get us started. So if you're not sure about solving equations, then this is the video for you to start at. Okay? As with all my videos, follow the tips. Really important. So first one is watch the video without pausing it until you get to the questions. The slide will come up and say to you when to pause the video and then go back because you don't want to see the answers until you've done it. Watch it a second time and do the work with me. You can pause it as you go, remember, so you could take your time and work through the examples I'm doing. Watch the video one more time all the way through so you understand what's going on, and then attempt the questions at the end before watching the answers. Okay, don't look at the answers till you've done the questions, that's really important. Then check your answers. If you've got them wrong, then go back, watch the video again, attempt them again, and hopefully you'll get them right. Okay, so today's video, the three things we're going to learn about is one, what is an equation? Two, what the word solve means, because that's really important when we're looking at equations, because that's what we're going to be doing today. We're going to be solving them. And then finally, how to solve them using Scotty's top 3 tips for solving. Okay, and don't forget the challenge at the end. There is no point in watching these videos if you're not going to do the challenge at the end. That's really important. Okay, right, let's get going. So, first things first then, what does the word solve actually mean? Okay, so solve just basically means to find the answer. Okay, that's all it means. So you can write this down on your page. So solve means to find the answer. And when we're talking about equations, what we're effectively doing is we're trying to find what the variable is, the value of it behind the variable. Okay, these are variables, those horrible letters that we see in algebra, which are really great. That's what makes algebra really great. These are what we're trying to find. We're trying to find out what value these represent or what number these represent. And remember, the variable could be any letter. It could be anything. It doesn't matter. Okay, so when we're solving, we're trying to find out what value the letter or letters actually is. And that's all solving is, finding what they are. Okay, right, let's have a look then at what an equation actually is. So I'm going to write an example on the board here, so a really simple one. So 3x plus 3 equals 12. Okay, so here's a really simple equation. First thing first, we know it's an equation because it's got an equals inside it, okay, which telling us that this side is equal to this side. So all of this, in this case, is equal to 12. And 12 is equal to all of this side. Okay? So the equation will always have an equals in it. And if you look at the word, that makes sense, because if I write equation, you can see actually equals is in the word. We just haven't got the L on the end. Okay? Right, next thing is there's a couple of really important keywords we need to understand. Okay? And the first of them is what this bit is called here. So when we've got a number in front of our variable, remember this is called a variable, this is called a coefficient. Coefficient. Difficult word to spell. Okay? So it's called a coefficient. This is telling us how many of these we've got. So this is telling us we've got 3 lots of x. Okay, that's the coefficient. That one, as we've already talked about, is the variable. And any number on its own is called a constant. It's constant, it doesn't change. So 3 in this equation will always be 3. It won't change to 4 or 5. It's constant. Constant means the same, it stays the same. Okay? Alright, and then the final thing is this bit here. So it could be add, it could be subtract, it could be divide, it could be multiply. These are called operators. Okay? So these are operators. Alright, so we've got the coefficient, that's the number in front of our variable, our letter. Then we've got our operators, which are what we're used to using, these here. And then any number on its own is called a constant, okay, because it won't change. Right, brilliant. Okay, so let's have a look now at the top tips. So if I just get rid of this bit. If you're not sure about it, remember you can pause it and rewind it and watch that bit again. And it's a good idea to write those down. Okay, so let's take a look then. So, we want to solve this equation. To solve it, we're basically trying to find out what this x is, what number is behind that letter. That's all we're trying to do. Okay, we're trying to find the answer to what that actually is. Now to do that, the first tip is we think to ourselves, right, what I need to do to find out what that is I need to get that on its own. Okay, so to get that on its own, I know I now need to get rid of that bit and I need to get rid of that. So I need to get rid of my +3 or +3 and I need to get rid of this 3 here, the coefficient next to the letter. Okay, in this case x. Now to do that, tip number 2 is to do the opposite of the sign. Okay, so if you remember in normal maths, the opposite of add or addition is subtraction or take away, and the opposite of divide is multiply or times. Okay, these are opposite each other. Okay, they're opposites. All right. So if we look at this bit here, to get rid of this 3, I need to do the opposite of add or addition or positive. It's +3. Okay, so to get rid of that, I'm going to do the opposite, which is I'm going to take it away. Okay, now the last tip is whatever you do on one side of the equation, you must always do on the other side. That's really important. Okay, because if you don't do that, then they won't be equal. Because remember, this side is equal to this side, so it's a bit like a balance. Okay, if I take something from this side, this will get lighter, and I'll end up, it won't be balanced. If I take it away from this side, the same thing, it will stay balanced. So I'm always trying to keep my equation balanced. Okay, so if I'm taking 3 away from here, I'm going to take 3 away from here. Okay, now what I want to do now is I want to rewrite out what I've got left. So I've still got this bit, my coefficient and my variable 3x. 3 take away 3 is 0, nothing. I've got rid of it, which is great because that's what I was trying to do. Equals 12 take away 3, which is 9. Okay, so I've done the first step. Now my second step is I know I need to get rid of this 3. Now you might not know this, or you might know this already, but inside here is a multiply. This means 3 times x, or 3 lots of x. So the coefficient is telling us how many lots of x we've got. In this case, we've got 3 lots of x, or 3 times x. So to get rid of the times, I do the opposite, which is divide. So I'm going to divide this side by 3. And remember, always do the same on both sides. And now I can work it out. So 3 divided by 3, or how many 3's are in 3? Well, there's 1. And then I've got my x equals 9 divided by 3, or how many 3's are in 9? Well, there's 3 of them, isn't there? Okay. One lot of x is just x. So I can write it like this if I want to, and I've got my 3. So I've got x on its own now, brilliant. And now I know what the answer is. I've solved it. X is equal to 3. Now the great thing about solving equations is I can check if I'm right, which is always nice, right? Okay, so what I can do is I can rewrite my equation out. Oops. And I'm saying that x is 3. So now I can substitute 3 into my equation. So I've got 3 here times, remember there's a times in there, 3, because I'm saying x is 3, plus 3. If I'm right, that all should add up to 12. So 3 times 3 is 9. 9 plus 3 is 12. Brilliant. I am correct. So I've solved this equation now. I have now found what x is. It's equal to 3. Okay? And that's how you solve an equation. Now what we're going to do now is I'm going to put some questions up on the board. And we're going to go through them. So as you go through them, pause them if you need to, so you can try them with me. That's really important, okay? You need to try them with me. So let's get the questions up. So here are our questions. So let's do these 3 together. So the first one, I'm going to write it out. We've got 3x plus 7 equals 28. So remember the tips. First thing, what do I need to get rid of to get x on its own? So I need to get rid of the 7. And I need to get rid of the 3. Okay, my coefficient, remember this is a coefficient. So I always get rid of the constant first, the number on its own. Okay, so that's add or positive, so I'm going to take it away. And remember, I do that on both sides. So now I've got 3x, 7 take away 7 is 0, don't need to write anything, equals 28 minus 7, which is 21. So I've done the first step. Now my second step is I need to get rid of this 3. So to do that, remember there's a times in there. That coefficient's telling us how many lots of x we've got. So I'm going to divide, because that's the opposite of times, by 3. Okay? So 3 divided by 3, or how many 3's are in 3, is 1, x. And then 21 divided by 3, or how many 3's are in 21, if we did our 3 times table, is 7. And I can remember, I can write that out. That is the same as that. 1x is just x. Is equal to 7. Brilliant. Now I can check if I'm right. So let's write it out again. 3x plus 7 equals 28. So I've got 3 times 7, because I'm saying x is 7, plus 7 should equal 28. So let's have a look. 3 times 7 is 21, plus 7 is definitely 28. So I am correct. So I've solved this equation because I've now found that x is equal to 7. Okay? Right. Let's try the second one now. So let's just get rid of all of this. Takes a bit of time to rub it out. Okay. Right, so let's do our second one now. So we've got 4r minus 8 equals 24. Same tips. Got to get rid of that, and I've got to get rid of that to get r on its own to find out what it is. So I'll get rid of the constant, the number on its own first. So that's, now this is minus 8. The opposite of minus is add, okay, or positive. So I'm going to add 8. And remember, I do it on both sides. So now I've got 4r. Minus 8, add 8, if you think about it on a number line, gets us to 0. So that's disappeared, which is what we were trying to do. And 24 plus 8 is 32. Final step, remember, this coefficient tells us how many lots of r we've got. So there's a times in there, 4 lots of r. Do the opposite of times, or multiply, which is divided by 4 on both sides. So 4 divided by 4 is 1. R equals 32 divided by 4, or how many 4's are in 32. Do your 4 times table, you've got 8. So r is equal to 8. Okay, again we check. Let's check this one. So 4r minus 8 equals 24. So I've got 4 lots of r, or 4 times r, which is 8. Minus 8 should make 24. So let's have a look. 4 times 8 is 32. Minus 8 is definitely 24. So r is equal to 8. So I've solved this equation. I've found out what r is. R is 8. Now let's do the last one, because this is a little bit different. So sometimes, because what we do is we practice them a lot the same way, and then what happens is we get an equation that doesn't look normal, as people say, and then people go, oh my god, I can't do it, I can't do it, that's not the same. Well, it is, and I'm going to show you and prove it to you. As long as you always follow those 3 tips, it doesn't matter what way round it is. Okay, so let's have a look at this bottom one here. So now we've got minus 9 plus 3n equals 30. Okay, so now this is not the same way round as these ones. Different. But the method is exactly the same. Okay, as long as we follow the method, we're fine. And follow the tips. So I need to get rid of that, and I need to get rid of that to get n on its own. Right? So first thing I'm going to do is get rid of the constant, the number that's on its own first. So this is negative 9. So the opposite of negative is positive, or add. So I'm going to add 9 on both sides. Exactly the same. Minus 9 add 9 is 0. And I could still put my add if that helps. So I've got plus 3n equals 30 add 9, which is 39. Okay. Now I need to get rid of the 3. Times in there, that's the coefficient, 3 lots of n. So I'm going to divide it by 3 on both sides. So now I've got 3 divided by 3 is 1n equals 39 divided by 3, or how many 3's are in 39? There are 13. So n is equal to 13. Check our answer. Minus 9, 3 times, or 3 lots of n, we're saying it's 13, should equal 30. Let's have a look. 3 times 13 is 39. Now, if you've got minus 9 and you add 39 on your number line, you do get to 30. So this is the correct answer. So I've solved this equation, I've found out what n is, our variable, and it's 13. Okay, so it doesn't matter what way round they are, you just need to follow the 3 tips, the method. Follow those and you'll be fine. Okay, right. So in a minute it's time to pause the video. I'm going to show you the questions as per normal. Put the questions up, pause the video, have a go at the questions on some paper, take your time. If you need to go back and have a look at the bit of the video before, that's fine, just do that. Come back to the questions, make sure you pause it so you don't see the answers until you've at least had one go at them. That's really important, okay? Because remember, no point in watching these videos if you're not going to put it into practice. Okay, here come the questions. So pause the video, have a go at the questions, good luck. Okay, hopefully you've had a go at these questions now, and I'm going to put the answers up for you. Okay, so we had these easy ones to start with, then it's got a little bit harder, and then we had these shine ones which are a bit more trickier. Okay, I'm going to put the answers up and I will go through one of the shine ones for you, okay, to show you how to do it. So here come the answers. So there are your answers. Check your answers. If you've not got them right, that's fine. Go back from the video and have another go. Okay, it doesn't matter. Remember, mistakes are fine. So there are the answers. Okay, now I'm just going to go back and show you how to do one of the shine ones. Okay, so if I just get rid of this, and then we'll have a go at one of the shine ones, or one that's like it, in case you had a go at them and you weren't sure how to do them. If you've got them all right, you can just stop the video now. Just get rid of all of that. Okay, so let's have a look at one of the shine one type ones. So if let's write something out here. Okay, so if we follow the tips, exactly the same. This line is divide, means divide, right? So the first thing I'm going to do is get rid of the divide bit, okay? So to do that, I've got to multiply, because the opposite of divide is multiply, remember? So I'm going to get rid of this first. So I'm going to times both sides by 2, okay? So let's do that. So now we've got 2x plus 4. We're dividing this by 2, then we're typing two opposites. I've got rid of that 2 now, so I've just got this left here, equals 8 times 2, which is 16. Okay? Alright? Now, if you look now, this is just like some of the ones we've already been doing. I've now got to get rid of the 4 and get rid of the 2. So I'm going to do the opposite. I'm going to take away 4 from both sides. So now I've got 2x, 4 take away 4 is 0, equals 16 take away 4, which is 12. And then divide 2, because we've got to divide it. And we get x, or 1x, equals 12 divided by 2, or 2 in 12, 6. So x is equal to 6. And we can check our answer. 2 times 6 plus 4 divided by 2 should equal 8. So let's do that. So we do the top bit first. So 2 times 6 is 12, plus 4 is 16, divided by 2 should equal 8. Okay, and it does. So we're right. Okay, so that's one of the shine ones you want to try. Okay, that's the end of the video today. Hope you've learnt something. Try the questions. There's plenty more questions online. Remember, the maths is all about practice. So what we've looked at today is we've looked at what an equation is, what the word solve means, and how to solve an equation using those top tips. Have a great day. Thanks very much. Watch some more of the videos. Enjoy your maths. See you later.